Yeah, that's kind of weird. But I'm sure that's how a lot of them small colleges are surviving, branching out, you know.
How in the world would you even get up in a bill like that, 2 states away?
I don't know.
That's just wild.
I don't know. Uh-oh.
He's on his way.
Uh-oh, we'll stand up like this.
What are you doing?
We're gonna need to sit down.
Welcome to the gun show.
Yeah, big guns there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My birthday. I don't know who brought that in.
Well, happy birthday.
I was telling Sean I didn't even know where that was taken, but I'm filling up with water at Danville.
You gotta watch what you're doing.
You gotta get in here earlier.
Wow, for the longest time, when I'm filling up water, I just take a leak back here. Oh, Kent there at the co-op one time goes, "You realize we have a camera on the backside of that?" I said, "Yeah, I do, but I'm not right at the camera either." He goes, "Yeah, but we know what you're doing."
I got it that time.
I'm sorry?
I got it that time. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. Matt will be here to talk to you about the Adam and abates that are in there. There's quite a bit.
Did you email out minutes?
I think Hannah did.
Okay, I could never find those somewhere.
Okay.
They're here though, so I'll look at them now, but I couldn't find them from last week.
Who sent them out?
Hannah.
Yeah, I know, those are the corrected ones, so we'll need a motion to approve that one. Those corrected, November 29th.
That was a special one on the 13th. We have to
Yeah.
wait on that one.
Well, no, this is the November 29th.
Right. I'm with you.
No one on the agenda, Doug?
No.
Okay, he's got an inordinate spending authorization request for toilet paper, paper towels, hand soap, trash bags in the amount of $1,053.12.
Jeez.
The last minute, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Can I get a motion for that, guys? All in favor? Gary?
I said I.
Okay, I heard, didn't hear. Did you hear?
With either ear, I didn't hear that.
He heard me. Guys got selective hearing today or what?
He is older. How old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Is that talking to me? 59.
59, huh? Oh, you're knocking on the door there.
I know, my kids have already said, 59. Siblings and everybody else.
Payroll, guys. Get a chance to look through that.
I did.
Okay, so there's 2 of them. One's the regular one and one's for the hazard pay that we did. So the regular payroll is in the amount of, you want to do that? You want to take the hazard one?
Really gross.
It's gross.
Gross. $141,951.71.
All in favor?
Aye. And this total here? Or what?
Gross amount. It may be on the back. We got that. Nope.
No.
But maybe right down that column.
Oh, here, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, this is
This is the hazard pay.
hazard pay for $155,773.58.
All in favor? Aye. Matt, are you here to talk about this stuff?
And the baits?
Yep.
Yep.
Come on up.
Okay. So it's that time of year again, despite our best efforts in the appraiser's office, people are starting to come in, and when they get that tax bill, they're like, oh, I sold that truck, or I sold that boat. That's mainly what most of these add and abates are. There's a few, one of the bigger ones actually is somebody filed on oil and gas, filed for 5 barrels or less production, so low production well. We don't make that determination. We might see that it's under that, but we don't make that determination in our office. They have to go through BoCC to get that awarded to them. And so,
So what happens with that? I didn't know that was a thing, 5 barrels or less, but.
yep, it's just on state statute that gets a special rate if it's under 5 barrels a day or less of production. So, yeah, most of your people will see that. So the first one, where's the total at? Is that the total we're looking at, add and abated taxes?
Is it maybe 14,000?
Yeah.
Oh my. And that's for that one.
14,841.30 with 347.94 in refunds.
Oh, okay, refund. That's the value of it that's going down. So the refunds are what we need to approve.
Yeah.
We'll approve the refunds. How far back does that go, Matt?
Those are from, I think the first one I got here is 11/30 of 2021 up until July 10th on that, or December 10th, 8th on that. It was done December 8th.
Yeah, but I mean, how many years do they go back?
Oh, those are just this year's. If you look,
I guess,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those should all be on tax year 2021. There, I say that, and then there is a 2020 from BZ Patton.
Wait, those are more than just oil and gas stuff in there.
Yes, there's trucks coming off, trailers coming off. There's little
So
notes
that
there.
3,000 was for all of it? Is that the total of everything, or is that just the?
Well, the refund says total $347.94.
For that one?
That is,
Another one
so,
that is-
Yeah, these are trucks and all that stuff inside here.
hold on, I found that sheet. They have the 374 because that is a.
So why are the oil and gas ones mixed with personal property? I thought we normally did those separately, but I could be wrong.
I don't know that, they just go through this is what we send through. And it's just per person, per abatement.
Yeah.
And that's what we send, and the clerk processes it. That's a report, so I don't know if you could separate those out separately on a report.
Well, normally I thought we had oil and gas on a separate deal, and then personal property was on a separate deal too. I thought, but here they're all mixed in together.
I can look and see it on that report. I mean, that's something Kelsey
It
should
just kind
know.
of depends on.
Is it? Yeah.
Oil and gas always-
Usually they come in separately, but they all came in together, and I think on the report, it just adds whatever for that person.
Total, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but there's more than one person mixed in with that.
Well, there's two separate ones. There's one that just has a single one, and then there's,
So what were you looking at? Brian?
Well, I thought oil and gas, when we got those in the past, we had oil and gas,
Okay.
and then personal property.
Right.
So
And there
we
could
did
be-
oil and gas, and then we did personal.
That could be just a general report that does all of them. There might be an option on your reports in CIC to separate out and just do oil and then do personal property.
I can check and see if there is
Yeah.
one.
And that's what throws me off on that, is they're all mixed in together with personal property.
But the reason we're not refunding more is except for that one.
It's just a change in tax dollars. So if you look at the abatement line, the 14,000, that's the abatement of taxes that you will be, I guess, forgiving people that you haven't received yet. That refund, the $300, is what they've already wrote a check for and we have to refund. Yeah.
So, like oil value's gonna be 88,000, personal property's gonna be 9,000.
Yeah, those are values. You probably really want to check. This is the number of taxes that you'll be taking out of your budget that you would be expecting. This is what's been paid that you would have to give back, write a check back for.
You see that, man?
You guys want to separate, you want to separate then?
Okay.
You just tell
Yeah.
them there.
So on the back side of this report are your totals. And this is the amount that you would be saying that they do not owe in taxes anymore, or what you're taking, would have to account for taking out of your budget, because that would be
Okay.
what's coming off top. This is what somebody's already paid that needs to be refunded.
Refunded.
Yeah,
So next year it's gonna be $12,000, $14,000.
and this is an ongoing process. I'll probably be in here week after week for at least through December when everybody pays.
It's not going to be taken out, we're just not
But
going
we
to
get
get
it.
You just
So
don't
we were
get it.
counting on that money.
Right.
And now it's not going to happen.
Right.
Do you want to split off into personal property and oil and gas, or does that matter to you guys?
It doesn't matter to me.
I thought oil and gas was always separate for you, but that's just from what I remember. 'Cause we always-
Yeah. So I'd rather have them that way, I'd rather keep it the way we used to, I feel.
Okay.
If we can, I don't know, maybe the report don't allow you to do that, but it always seemed like we had it separate.
What's it matter though? I mean, really?
It's gonna be the same total.
It will be the same total, but those, that way you keep track of them separately, what happened to oil and gas and then the personal property. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it really doesn't matter.
I mean, I've been having the girls put some fairly good notes. So if you look here, that's a boat order tax, 5 barrels, that's
Right.
oil. Remove exempt, add taxes for partial year. That's actually real estate. Oh, here, right here, I'll tell you, that's oil,
Yeah.
real, personal property. So it's not separated out, but you can definitely see that's gas. Personal property, that's a truck. So that would be personal property, just in a truck.
I think I'd rather have them split
Trucks,
off
gas.
into real estate and personal property.
Okay.
And oil and gas.
We'll see what we can do, right?
The differences are.
You can do
Because
it.
that's the report that Ruth would print on for you
Okay.
guys previously, so I'll have to see if there's a different one.
Yeah, it says all, so,
If it's possible, drop it.
Okay.
do you want that split before you approve it, or?
Yeah. That way we
Okay.
can have, that we approved this much in oil and gas.
Okay.
This much personal property and this much real
Okay.
estate.
So this one is Atmos, it's gonna be personal property. It was, I guess, processed later, that's why it didn't
It
come
came
in on
in
that
after all the
report.
rest of them, yeah.
So they just printed another report, it's just a single one here. And it is total,
Negative
$56.70.
So we're gonna do that one real quick, guys. This is for, trailer. So this is for, you said Atmos?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and we picked it up as personal property because it came through through the treasurer's office and we caught it, so we put it on. And then they called and said, that's state assessed, because we're state assessed utilities, so our personal property is state assessed. And we're like, you guys are right.
Can I get a
We
motion
can't
to
double
pay
tax it.
$56.70? All in favor?
Aye.
I apologize, I didn't hear who made
I did.
Thank you.
Well, that one is not 14,000, that's
No,
a bit.
but still.
So, yeah, there, like I said, you'll see more coming through. One of them that I know is on the horizon is for, the old Napa building that they converted to
Down the Woodlands.
the wellness center. We've got a voted order for that to come through, so that's a pretty significant chunk,
No.
so.
Yeah,
Right.
taxes are pretty huge. They were on that.
They were,
right?
yeah, so.
Was
yeah.
you gonna ask him something about this building over here?
This one on the corner?
Yeah, I thought you was gonna ask him something about that.
I think we did about rezoning that thing, but,
Yeah, that'd be through the city.
okay.
You'd have to go through their process.
I don't think we knew that, we got a shower and stuff in there to make that. Spend the money on anything.
And you might check their zoning regulations, you might be able to have residential structures in a commercial zoning. I don't know, depending on what the regulations say. You might not have to go through the process. Lots of times if you're going from residential to commercial, you'll have to make that zoning change, but residential structure in a zoning area or
Which I think
commercial area is
Linda
not.
already talked to Cindy, and it was
Okay.
gonna be something at the shower, and I think, if I remember that conversation.
Okay, you're correct.
You remember that too, that way? Yeah.
But as far
We
as,
said we didn't know if we want to spend more money on it, exactly the same thing you just asked 5 seconds ago. We want to spend more money on it.
any other questions, guys?
Thanks, Matt.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Have a good day.
Yep, and we'll
See you,
get
Matt.
that report, try to get it broke down for you if it'll allow us to,
If you can.
I'll be back in next week with it.
Okay,
Okay.
have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Matt. Sheena and Mike, I guess you guys are up. Morning.
Morning. Well, I'm thinking about on that rock, they would like that out of there as soon as we can get on.
Which
But
one?
I told them we were
I
hauling.
hear that a lot.
The trucks were busy hauling rock and stuff like that, but,
What rock you talking about?
up there in the back, but the farmstead out. And he said there is some other, that if they didn't bury it all, I told him we didn't want any metal in it. And he said there might be some from that old dairy barn. So,
Is that down there on Book Creek somewhere? It's got iron in it.
Yeah. That worked
I don't
out.
know where the-
but they buried a lot of that had the iron in it.
Okay, good.
He first told me is, I'll let you have it all, but I want my road graded at least twice a year. Yeah, that's a stretch, Larry.
That's just fine.
So when do you think, if he asked me, when do you think you could get on that to haul
Well, we
that
got
rock?
until the first year to get that rock hauled off the oil field, and they're a little over halfway done,
Okay,
so we'll get on as soon as we can.
so it'll be after Christmas then?
Probably after the first of the year.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'd say their signs are just a little bit cheaper than the Windy CRs. I'm done. That's all you.
Well, that was easy.
No, okay. These are the warranty documents, same as the other ones that you guys signed for, that you signed for the leased ones. This is for the one that we own. They apparently got lost in the email shuffle, and he would like that signed, please.
Ken thought you were there.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
I thought you were, sorry.
I gave him my list, he gave me his.
Oh, project list? Yeah, I do have a project list. I kind of organized it a little bit differently, so.
I didn't know mine was in his paper.
There you go. Well,
That's what I'm looking at real quick. You gave me the,
I seen you looking at it.
well, I didn't know what I was supposed to pass around. I want to make sure I get it all read before I send it.
Yeah.
Probably 3 copies in there.
I'm gonna borrow it for a little bit, is that all right?
That's fine, that's my trade.
I'll Bertrand, you got your scribble on.
Yeah.
And you guys are on, you're on Walden Road now?
Yes, sir.
What's that? All right.
So that is the new one that's on the list today. So it's a permit that they would like approved for trenching and for ag use. And I have that right here. And Mike's already been out and inspected it, so I have the pictures, I have the map, I have a description of what they want, so that's that. And Mike, you said it'd probably be fine to trench that one?
Yes.
Yeah, he said it'd be fine.
Said Burke Holston, probably one vehicle to drive it.
So what you're saying is it's cheaper to do this than what we're doing, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
he's already ordered.
Okay, I must have missed that part of the conversation.
No, that was last week, we
Okay.
discussed that, and I just tried to bring them.
That's what the difference is, yeah.
Major difference. It's a lot easier for one guy to put those up too.
There's not as much surface for somebody to spray paint on.
There you go.
Can't wrap a whole room on that one,
You'd be surprised.
right?
I've noticed that there's been some guys tying the hot wire on the signs.
They're tying it to our bridges too, we're gonna have to do something about that. The Shawnee Bridge, they tied to it, and when it rained, it caught a bunch of logs, and they were actually pulling on the timbers on that bridge.
No, I'm talking about hot wire.
Yeah, well, I just thought of that.
Yeah, I see the same with those
Right,
panels.
right, yeah.
The guys come across them.
It's probably not as big a deal with hot wire, but
No.
why not a deal like this? Because
Legally, they're not supposed to be tying to any of our signs or our bridges.
They should have fence up on the sign.
And that bridge is potentially a big deal.
A big
Yeah,
deal, and that
yeah.
was to get something done. That was at Shawnee Bridge there north of Attica.
Well, that one west of my house, I'm not so sure that's what didn't
Very
ultimately lead to where.
That's a lot of pressure. You get a tree fall down there, and then
yeah,
the water pressure, there's a lot of pressure there, and it absolutely will destroy a bridge.
But about 5 years ago or so, we took down the panel across that bridge, and then we started having problems with that bridge not long after. Do you remember that? You're kind of up in the end of the territory back then, but
But I think a lot of our bridge problems are
because of that.
related to that.
And you don't think about that. When you're working and putting those fences up, you don't think about it like that.
And you know, you have people, their cattle cross underneath the bridge and stuff.
yeah.
They could set a post at the bridge or something to,
Yeah.
we've gotta get that stopped.
Are you okay with this road up here being changed?
Yes.
He's already.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your Walnut Road, how are you, how many more weeks on that, you think?
It shouldn't take too long, it's close to hauling Chris is off, we've got blading on it today, trying.
Needs some rain going.
You're going to Eagle Road then, and to Pilot Dog?
That's the plan, unless you,
No, I'm good with it. That was the projected. And then that one road that we had that was, I can't remember, up here on 160, that mile south, that reclaimed road, whose road was that?
120,
Maybe it is 120. What's her name live on it till they're just about to,
Right on the county line, yeah, you guys did that one.
this one we just graded,
Mhm.
just finished.
did you? It was a, did you rip it or what did you do with it? Just-
I'm not sure they ripped it or not, they graded it, built it back.
Who's road is that?
I can't think who lives down that road, he's been, he was on the board at Danville there for a
See,
while.
I don't remember their name, I know, Jake and Mystery Wedman live there, but
Who do?
Jake and Mystery Wedman live there. It's like right there on the county line. And then
Like Mark McCoy's,
South 160, who?
like Mark McCoy's.
McCoy's, that's it.
Boys,
Oh.
yep, that's it.
So you got it done, or they have it?
They just finished it yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Yeah, I got a message that they were really, from Mystery, they were really excited about it.
Good.
Is that a good way or a bad way?
But you guys were working, I haven't heard either way.
I could get you the
after it's
legals,
done.
but up on, when you're hauling sand to Wayne Drury's, we need to haul gravel there on the Ross line. Which would be, well, it'd be a mile back east of where we're gonna be hauling sand for. That corner south of that road that you're gonna be hauling for Wayne Drury, if you go 1 mile back to the east, from there to the diagonal needs to be sanded.
problem already anyway once.
Yeah. Let's do it again, just to be safe on that. That's for the,
Our grader.
warranty information on the owner grader.
140 GC-01.
I'll make that motion.
So moved. All in favor? Aye. I assume since we own it.
Yeah. Really
Hello.
special resolutions better than the posting, so.
So, a motion for you guys to approve this retrenching and then approve the fees waiving for ag use.
You're good with it, right? You're good with that? Okay. Jeff made the motion, all in favor? Aye.
It's his birthday with all
And it's a contract.
said that he was going to do that.
You know, I don't know. And there was somebody that didn't even recognize him.
So Sue's wanting to do one too, so.
No, that's.
No,
his
it's all
parcel.
on the same
No.
one, so. There's that. So I took that truck, P300, Lawrence's old truck, problem child. Since Newberry's couldn't figure it out, Misha couldn't figure it out, I just took it to Anthony Automotive and he's like, it needs a new computer. And it's gonna be like less than $500 to fix it. Oh, that's what I said. Oh, okay, so,
Sooner the better.
yeah.
Can we get a new computer for it, or how's that looking?
I mean, he said, that's his
Yeah.
quote.
Right, but
He
I'm
said,
wondering
yeah.
how that.
We've already had an order, so I hope so.
Yeah.
That's including labor, less than
I hear 20 feet, so it'd be fine.
Well, you know.
What's it
Better
hurt?
than not at all.
And then the other one, the P312, this would be Garrett's truck that we took to Newberry's. So this is a quote from Newberry's, and then this is a quote from Anthony Automotive, if you guys want to check those out. We thought it was just the timing, and then I think it turned into a whole engine replacement. Labor's a lot different.
Yeah.
Labor, so.
Yeah?
Get it here soon as you can.
Yeah.
Try that truck set. You have all your grader people running? I know you got, I know you can't send the computers out, but,
I got one cut trees over at it.
okay?
Got one running and then one's running the road up in the wall. And over there, and over here, I want to say what they're doing right now.
I did wrap up a FEMA project from 2019, is when they started it, that's when the disaster was. And me and the guy from Kansas Department of Emergency Management finished it, and they gave us our deposit, so $159,000.
Coming our way.
It's been deposited already, yes.
Nice work, Sheena, thank you for that.
Wow.
And where's that go into?
So that just went into our road and bridge, other FEMA line item.
Okay.
We have another one we're working on. That one was,
Could we
it's the
get one of
road
them a week?
project. So, road project from the 2019 disaster. So we also have a bridge and culvert project that we're working on right now too.
Which, do you know which road this was on?
I can get you all of that information. There was a ton of roads, a
Oh,
ton
okay.
of washout damage
Okay,
everywhere.
it was from a flood event where we
Oh,
were
yeah,
washed out.
down there on the, there was a bunch of they spent down south.
Yeah, there was a bunch down there. There's
Okay.
everywhere.
That's when it rained, remember that?
Yeah.
That way.
Literally, yeah.
Excellent.
Seven trains.
So we got a little
Yes.
money.
Is Linda is anything?
Yes.
Okay, because, I think we need to talk about that welder again, how much cash we have when we get over there.
Okay, so I did get Anderson Welding, gave me a quote for the welder.
Okay,
Ordering through them. With the remote start, it's $7,189.48. I also had them price out the cage for it, and that's about $600. And the little key fob is $96.84, and it's looking like March 2022 for delivery.
Is that pretty spot on?
It's pretty close to the other one, so.
we'll be right there. We should have enough cash left, I'd say. Does he, if we get this one, does his other welder working, or are they only using one welder?
I got him leads for the other one. those didn't work, so I ordered them some new leads and they are working and they are using it, so they have one fully operational welder right now to make two.
I think we need all that. We should have enough cash to get that check up there.
We don't need a motion for that. You-
No,
you-
it's gonna be under the threshold anyway, under
Yeah.
10.
So we have the authority to order it then.
I will tell him today. And I will
I
leave.
knew it'd be a long ways out. That's why I said, Miller, you're gonna be a long ways out, they probably Lincoln's in stock.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you, because I went through the whole same thing, but that's okay, that's good. If he's good with it, wait till March, it's gonna get cold, and it's
We'll
gonna
put
be
on
raining.
these leaves, have them bring them back.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I think they'll probably just in the shop.
sure, that's fine, as long
So-
as we move money.
So we're gonna go with that one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just wanted you guys to know where the direction that one was going. And I like that that shop's right by our shop, so.
Yep.
Makes
Well,
it
it's
easy.
great. Just move it, just push it up there.
And then Shawnee Bridge should be done this week. So that'll be another one. You guys pulled the pin for Red Rock last week or no?
No, it's still there.
Oh, wow.
Right there
I
it
love
is.
that boy. 'Cause that one's
Get rid of
done.
him. Hey, the pins are coming
Look at
off,
that, guys.
they're falling off.
Look at that area right there, there's bridges everywhere. Go. You can run from the law down in that area now.
How about I give you a list, how about I give you a list of the bridges I need fixed so I can get to my customers?
Yeah. Get on that list, Charlie.
What's that one on 8th or south of Danville? I guess I don't remember that one.
We don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't remember that
Well,
one.
I thought my district was clean.
We don't ever drive that way.
I think people are coming here and putting mother just get you.
I think you just stuck that one in there, made me feel bad, yeah.
They want you to be left out.
Yeah.
Well, and I gotta work on a new bridge list. I do have Chad coming today. We're gonna go check out Singer Bridge and see what a replacement for that would look like theoretically.
Like I say, as far as I'm concerned, don't push him into anything, if that's the one that's,
I'm just asking his opinion.
yeah, okay.
On what he thinks we can do on that one before we tear it out and start doing things. So, and then we're gonna kind of try to compile a new ranking of priority levels and how we're gonna fix them.
That'd be good.
So, that's what's next week. I'm done.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you. Have a good day.
Shelly.
Hey,
Hey.
so I have a couple of guests this morning. Charlie, Sheila, you all bring the chair back up.
Morning, guys.
And I don't necessarily, oh, there we go, we all have chairs.
Oh.
Thank you.
You guys have the good ones though.
You want to try?
We always race in here to get here
To
first.
get here first, so we can have your chairs when we over. So speaking of, clearly the CID committee has changed as far as our end of it, the county's end of it, drastically in the last year, if not just 6 months, with the addition of it coming from the clerk's office to my office, and then, of course, just with Melinda now leaving and then Shauna coming on board. So our meeting on Friday, we really had some concerns. Fortunately, Kelsey did get us some of the numbers, which was, we weren't really sure what we were operating with, and that helped a lot, but there are some questions. And so I guess we're here just because we're not sure, we want, I guess, some direction and vision from this group to help us understand a little bit better. And there were some financial questions too, Kels, which, they're simple ones, so. Do you have the spreadsheet? Okay. Here.
Do you want your marks on here? You want me to pick them up?
No, I just want
So I just, and I wanted, because Charlie and Sheila have been on this committee much longer than any of us. So and we had a great dialogue, and as a matter of fact, they told me about some things that had happened under Ruth that I found in our shared folders and stuff. So we're gonna try and start using some of those things, like a scoring sheet and various other things. But I just think there's some concern about some of the financials and just kind of operations.
Like when we went into our meeting the other day, we had a couple applications to look at, but we didn't know we didn't know how much money there was. I mean, we didn't know. And this is, I guess we feel like there needs to be a better way of doing this, because I know there are some amounts on here that we haven't paid, and I guess we don't really know where we're at.
Yeah, we're not sure that, so clear down there in the bottom right corner, that amount available at 179, I'm not sure that's 100% accurate, because this sheet that Darren's got here, I did check marks on it. There's 138,000 to Shepherd Oil that I know they never got, and I don't think they're ever gonna take.
No, because they
They didn't do what they were gonna do.
I just got, this thing looks like it's overwhelming.
It is, and I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not an accounting major, but I can read a spreadsheet, and it's hard to decipher all
So-
that. And I know it has, some of that's because of the accounting program, I understand that, so.
But for you guys, wouldn't it be just simpler to know how much money you have and have a different, have a different deal saying where it was distributed to, instead of having all this trying to figure out how much you have?
What, Kelsey, you're the
Is that
one
right?
that does this.
Yes, I'm the one
So
who does
so I'm
this.
not,
So
we don't need her
this-
to have to create a whole new program.
Yeah,
But-
this was what they had used
Yeah,
before me.
that's,
So-
I've seen that several times, Sheila
Okay.
has too. But we just need to go through that and see what has truly been paid out, what hasn't been paid out, and if what's never gonna be paid out, I feel like needs to be taken off of there so that there's no confusion as to what's what.
And some of it is because you're waiting on people to put those receipts in.
Exactly.
So you gotta kind of show, I think that's both.
Yeah, you're right, you gotta show what is gonna get paid out,
Right.
because it's been approved. But there again, there are some that are never
That are not
gonna
gonna happen.
Sure.
They're still
Well,
not.
and that makes me wonder, even though I know Kelsey's plate is full, but I wonder if we, when we do have meetings, or maybe her and I get together, and because I think removing the financial person out of the whole CID thing kind of was maybe not the smartest thing to do. And replace them with me.
We definitely need something simpler.
Was
too.
not a good idea.
Like
But,
down here, they got, I'm not gonna mention the name, but you've got payments going to this one twice.
And that's because there is, the change of ownership. So
Right.
each owner
But the first owner never.
never
did
submitted
anything.
it, right?
Right.
So
And they gave them an
that's one that
extension.
can be taken out.
Right.
both of those, right?
No, because
No.
he's,
No, because
the
there's.
new owner's gonna,
Well, yeah,
But
but
we
that
haven't
hasn't,
approved
we
it.
haven't,
right,
I'm presenting that today, so that's not even,
right.
yeah.
So which one would it be that,
But I thought we,
that he's gonna be? the
So there
new
was,
owner?
so there were approved,
We did, but I haven't presented it to
oh,
them
okay,
yet.
okay.
and I think Ruth at the time had given them an extension, but they never brought in any receipts for anything. And so then by that time, we switched over to new owners, so yeah, we can essentially remove
Okay.
that one, yeah, yeah.
The other thing that I sometimes, and maybe you guys as a committee don't care, but I like to look at the revenue totals, and I like to track those. That's a pretty important, so you're saying maybe just
Yeah,
like this,
I
but
was telling that to Shelley this morning earlier. We've seen this number across the top there surprisingly stay pretty
Yeah.
consistent.
But I like to watch that, just to
Absolutely.
kind of keep tabs and
Yeah.
make sure that,
Yeah, because we don't want to,
something's
we don't want to commit to something
Yeah.
that we're not going to have down the
If it's
road.
starting to fall apart, then we need to know
Exactly.
Well,
before.
and some of the most recent approvals by the CID or additions are definitely gonna add greatly to that.
Sure.
We hope.
So that should change that.
We
number,
hope,
yeah.
Yeah.
We hope
But
that
I mean,
works. I mean,
We.
Well, that's part of the idea of making that funds available. This
That's
is-
right, to make it keep moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And, but it would be nice to see that, to see those numbers and.
yeah.
So this is the expenditures over a period of time here, or this year, or?
No, these
That's
are
from the inception.
from the
I have
line.
no idea.
So is there a reason why we keep that on there?
I guess just for record, so we know.
Some of these guys didn't.
Well, but I think because when that was CID was
Deal,
set up,
I'm
it was a
curious.
one and done deal, right? I mean, so let's say Sheila gets it in her shop. And this, I think, helps keep track of that, so the committee can come back and go, well, they've had it. That's why they haven't applied again, so it's a one and done deal.
Kelsey, why is that one in the middle in green, highlighted in green, do you know?
1999.
That I could not tell you, that was before me. I'd have to look up and see on the reports why it's that, why.
Right.
It might be because it's less
I was gonna
than what
say.
we,
There's a
Like-
threshold that it has to stay at, and
Yeah.
if it drops below that, there's something to do with that CID, that the money doesn't
because
go to the buildings
that's
downtown.
That's
So
exactly,
it,
I bet that's what.
if
it
it's
is.
below a certain dollar, I'm trying to remember the whole thing, you've been on, you're not having
I
Charlie,
think you're right, I think you're right.
if it drops below
Yeah,
that,
but
then we don't
that
make a payment
17
to the
should be
building.
that way too then.
Yeah, and there's another one over here,
Yeah, that's true.
so.
That was my first guess, thanks, Charlie, for pointing out that I don't know.
There is something about that though.
I
You
got
It
you.
is, there's,
I got you.
you got me
But
here.
I don't know exactly how it.
Try to keep it humble.
That big old slide stuff.
So I guess the question is,
Turn red now. You and I both.
you want a simplified one?
well, no, I'm fine with this, I don't, well, let's not reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
But
I just needed to
do
stay in the black.
we or Shelley need to get with you so that we can clear up what is gonna get paid out or not gonna get paid out or never gonna get paid out? And take take what is off that needs to come
Clean it
off?
up, right, Charlie, just
I mean,
clean
do
it
you
up.
know those numbers or do you?
And I can see, yeah, I can go back and, because we save everything, and so I can go back into each of these folders and find out.
If it's been
If
paid
it's
or
been
not
paid or not,
paid.
yep.
Do we want to put it in there?
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, and maybe just because you have a little bit more history with this,
I
it'd
can-
probably be great to help you help. Okay.
It's my busy time, but I always make time.
Propane.
And see, there's some zeros here, but then you
He's the
come
Hank
over
Hill of
here
Harper County.
and the amounts are over here, so it's just, you
Yeah.
know,
So clearly we need some clarity.
yeah, and when we come into a meeting, we need to know how much money we actually
to
have
spend.
to,
Distribute.
yeah.
So this number here for distribute is after all this over here too then, right?
It looks like it.
Yeah. So, the only thing that's not included, I think, in these numbers are the two that I have to present today. So,
How many more years left on CID, do you remember?
Started in
2012.
13, somewhere in
So
there.
we're 10 years into it, close?
10 almost, yeah. We might, close to halfway maybe. I remember that.
Then what happens after that?
Then we don't have to tax it for groceries anymore.
Yeah, Kelsey can tell you exactly when it started.
That means the building should be paid off, the new buildings. And we've talked about in the past, maybe not with you guys, but when Lee and Carla said here about, let's just pay those buildings off and be done with it.
If the funds are there, we
Yeah,
can.
yeah, just get to that point of don't approve anything else, just pay off the buildings and walk away. And then we've discussed it long enough, we decided, well, maybe that's not the way.
Well,
to go,
and-
because-
And, there's been a lot of applications here lately, so
Yeah.
it's a good thing we have.
So it's helping, it's gonna help.
It's
Well, I
still,
think it helps the business coming in, I think it's a good.
Well, and not just that, it's improving those buildings, it's making those buildings gonna stay here and last instead of just falling apart like they were.
Because without them funds, a lot of that stuff wouldn't be done, I mean.
Right.
well, and so also traditionally, what I've learned is the committee for a while has done 50% of the requests. And so that's kind of where we've been keeping it, just because again, we believe that, in order to receive, you also must have some input as well. And I think that's kind of been the mindset.
we've always figured there's, you need some skin in the game too. If you don't have any, if you're don't have that, then you shouldn't have applied to start.
It was just like your parents buying that red car when they were 14, it's the
No
same.
different.
Your parents bought your brand new car?
No, we didn't have
I rode
Rode the bus when I graduated high school.
They probably did, they
Right. You ain't been down to the Ford Farm yet anymore, no?
Well,
Up north of
that's
that.
what this number is right here.
All right, well, so.
One thing I did talk to Shelby about yesterday too, guys, is, and
See, 75% is what goes to the building.
One thing, Commissioner, okay.
Shelly and I talked a little bit yesterday. Remember, and this is a pain in the rear for you guys, but remember when I remember, at least you used to come in when we had these requests, and I know it's a pain in the rear, but I think that would help to have open communication amongst everybody that's involved with it.
Yeah.
And that way, if we're making decisions, you guys are here to be a part of it and say, no, that's stupid, don't do that.
Yeah,
And we've kind of lost that, I think.
I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah.
just so one of us.
And I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I should talk to Shelly about it. I don't think
Yeah,
Shelly would be
no.
upset with it. I just think it's good to have everybody in the
No.
same room and we can know what you guys discussed and it comes right out of your mouth of why you think that way.
Yeah, no, I'm all about that. So, especially because of the history and that I don't have and that they.
Right, yeah. And
it's
same
their
as me.
district.
I don't have the history that you guys have.
Right, and it's their district. I mean, they're the ones who have businesses and who have a
Pay you.
absolute, you know, concern and whatever, so. Okay,
I personally think
Well-
we can make this a lot easier.
On the line.
so,
I'm just telling you, I mean, for you guys, because
I agree.
so with that
It-
being
it-
said,
it-
fill out too.
It could be, but I'm just, you know, I know Kelsey's got a lot on her plate, so.
I mean, I can try to figure out if I can get something that just shows, makes it a lot simpler than what I'm seeing. I know, I like Excel, so I can,
That's totally your call.
yeah, I'll try to figure out something.
Okay,
for
so
you.
with that being said, you wanna go ahead and present these two?
Sure.
Okay, so we had 2 new requests for funding for, the CID district. The first one being from the Idle Hour. Now, Idle Hour Cloverleaf, which I don't know, that's what he filled his application out, I've got the whole thing here. But, so he requested 144,000, of which there were a couple of things that were questionable as whether they didn't fall under the CID qualifications or that we could fund those kind of things. So, it ended up, I believe we had 116,340 that we could, and so again, we did the 50%, and which came to 58,170, but we rounded up, and so we're making a suggestion of 50% of produced receipts payable over 3 years, not to exceed $60,000.
Did you send it out an email, that sheet? I can't remember what it said. I did.
So we didn't
Got
see
it.
it. Yeah. I sent it,
now, is
I sent
this
it.
on top of the, or is this different than the one we have here already?
It's different, isn't it, than the
Because
one
we've already
that's.
got.
Yeah, those, I don't know what those
So
are.
that's probably one that needs to be cleaned up, that 11, 9.
I think both of those
Probably
are.
both of them.
Both of
Yeah,
them.
that,
And the 3,000 also.
Cause
Yeah,
they put
that's-
2 applications in.
Yeah.
They
And
put-
those
they-
are the old
They
ones.
did two, that's, they put in 2 applications, so.
They put that one in when they was, Glory did, right? Remember?
Yeah,
When Jim was.
Right.
yeah,
So that was no longer,
valid, neither one of those are. So, and then the second request is from SPM Properties. It's Sean McKee, who owns the old donut shop building down in downtown Anthony. He had requested, 12,000 he's redoing his building. Again, we did half, so we're recommending, 50% of paid receipts up to 6,050.
Is there historical value to that? I mean,
To the idle hour?
yeah.
I think there is.
Yeah, I think there is tremendous historical. The other thing that I will say is we do also have a couple of downtown building owners, Sean being one of them, applying for the HEAL
Right, and I
grant.
knew you said that. That's what I
And I don't know if I might mention that, but the deadline is this Friday. But the HEAL grant is a historic building grant that the state is offering, and you can get up to $75,000, so, on any one project,
and
so.
some of this stuff in here wasn't funded, or all this was?
No, there's a couple of things like a,
So,
Like a beer delivery.
Yeah, we can't find.
I mean, as much as Bordoff and I really wanna do that.
So,
Exactly. Anything that,
but he
anything that
bought
you
the
can
building
sell out of the building.
next to
Right,
it.
yeah.
Not.
It has to be attached to the building.
Well, actually,
Yes, they, that's
the
state.
previous owner, right?
So what was the
So
other?
exciting.
Because
Yeah,
I saw you.
that's gonna really,
That'll be huge. It'll be
Expand that
huge.
business
Yes,
so much.
so much so. Yes.
I
What's
saw you
Charlie?
crossed out something else on that list, Sean.
The bar, wasn't
It was the bar.
Oh, okay, the bar.
Cause those are movable parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually take that bar out of there.
Yeah.
well, that's.
You would not want to because it was carrying
Yeah.
Carrie
nation.
Nation's got her market.
That's the historical value of that whole thing.
Right, so,
That's at least what everybody says, right?
I know, I asked for
And
these.
kids today are like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
She goes,
You haven't asked, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Being on this committee, it's not our job to tell these people that, hey, you need to get X number of estimates. But just as somebody that has done work myself, I'm guessing those are just thrown in numbers. Hence why we said
Yeah.
50% of produced receipts
Yeah.
up to.
Yeah, because I think when they throw those numbers out, if they haven't gotten an estimate, they bump them up, but, you know.
Which it was never set up that way, I don't believe, right? That they had to have
No,
a professional.
yeah, we don't, there's
No,
nothing
on
that
some
says
of the
it.
other stuff the county's done, we
Yeah.
require them to have a.
Well,
I mean, we can, if there's a question about why we're doing what we're doing, then yeah, we can say, well, show us some true
Yeah.
values here.
Yeah, but the hard thing is it's hard to do that now.
No, I
After
get
we've
it.
been
No,
10 years of,
Yeah.
then it kind of feels like.
Well,
we're picking on it a little bit.
when we first started, we typically got estimates.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I would think they'd have to, but.
But yeah, I mean, there again,
But they're showing receipts though, so we're paying on.
Yeah, we're not paying that, we're paying the
Receipts.
yeah, exactly.
So that's actually an estimate there, and then you give a receipt, and what that number is, that's what, up to a certain amount.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we've got their recommendations, guys.
And that one's over 3 years also, like
Idler's
the.
over 3 years, Sean's is not near
Yeah.
as much, so we figured that's why
Yeah.
we just.
And the reason we did the 3 years is just because at the time when we had the meeting, we weren't really sure what we had to work with and we didn't want to overextend ourselves, so,
I'm okay with 3 years, I think that's another way to
Yep,
go.
I do too.
yeah, so.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then guys, I'd entertain motions on those. I need resolution numbers. Do you guys have that book, resolution?
It's in the vault, I'll have to go get it,
Okay.
because I don't know what they are.
Okay, so in the meantime, do you want me to fill the space with all my wonderful information?
You have to wait for a little bit, only for her to record it.
Yeah, you got another recording.
Okay, well,
You have to wait.
poop.
We didn't have that recorded anyway.
Because I have such wonderful information. Okay. You have to do the, yeah.
So, okay, well, if you pay out over 3 years, is so much every 3 years?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say for some odd reason, I like the 3 years there because it changes hands again. Then that,
Absolutely.
I mean,
With that amount of money,
Yes.
you know.
But there's no guarantee. If that CID, all of a sudden something happens and there's,
right, no money.
the income's not there.
Yeah, I guess we'll check.
I know, but who
You
knew?
don't know.
Yeah, who
You
knows
wanna
what's
write
gonna
it
happen?
in?
Do what?
You wanna write them in that?
You're gonna let me write it in?
Well, do I trust
Well, they
you?
let me do it one time and then nobody ever let me do it anymore.
We ran out of language, you can do it on the
All right. So
You
idle
want me to just
hour,
keep going underneath that?
Sure.
Okay.
idle hour is number,
2021-25.
okay?
And then the other will be 20. Yeah, simple CHS math right there. All right, so I entertain a resolution for the idle hour of resolution number 2021-25.
So,
All in favor?
Aye.
And same with the other.
Yeah, no, take
Put
that
that
out.
thing in there. That's why they was rather than in there.
Put it backwards.
You have to have another motion.
Yep, need another motion for,
Wiggle in.
what did we call that? It's not,
21-26.
yeah, but what's it
What's the
called?
name of it?
SPM properties.
SPM properties. Okay.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Okay, quick rundown of some other stuff today. Don't forget, we have our lunch at Chaparral. We're going for the tour at 11:30, which I don't know that you guys will be done by then. And then we're gonna have lunch there. Cox Machine, I had a great visit with them, went up to Wichita. They're actually coming down today for the lunch, so several of their representatives. And they're so excited that we are engaging them and that they're they are going to be expanding and doing some really cool stuff. So that's coming down the pike. The Shop Local contest that we started, my bestie, Sheila. Actually, Sheila and Beth Farmer from the Anthony Chamber, so big shout out to the Anthony folks. They're going to help wrap this up this next week, and then that's it. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Are you out of here?
Yeah, I just got the hey, it's time to check in, so it's very real right now.
Cool, well, have a good
So
time.
thank you. And so Merry Christmas, Meli Kalikimaka,
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
So,
Same to you.
thank
Hey,
you
thank
guys.
you, too. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Thanks for being on that committee.
No problem.
It's tough getting anybody to do anything like that, so thanks for doing that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if we can get you some kind of revised paper maybe.
Thank you.
Boom. Sorry, Jen, we had a lot.
Now you gotta come help me serve meals in Harper.
Okay, sure.
That's your payment for services, right?
What?
Where's that sample?
This right here, I was filling it out. Resolution number on it, you get just I'm listening, we're just finishing
No,
up
I'm gonna
paperwork.
let you guys do make your signatures so you don't sign the wrong thing.
Yeah, exactly.
How's Jim?
Good.
Just going to one of them right here.
That has a resolution on the front of that number.
You did it right on page 2.
Kelsey will have to have
Is this your gold picture or something?
it. That's my birthday
I don't think.
present, I guess, from somebody, I don't know who.
Thought I wrote it on the front page, didn't it?
Which one is the front page? This one?
No.
Don't have the front page. Here, right there's front page up there, Steele. You want to just back it too?
Yeah, I can do
You've
that.
got 2 more years to get into shape.
This Mike's had how long still?
Hmm?
Huh? Jeff has signed back. Jeff, I'm gonna stick these in that red folder. Okay?
That's fine.
Didn't go.
Stuff.
We're listening now.
Okay. Does anybody need copies of my,
I got them this morning,
reports?
so I don't need one.
Mr. Bornoff,
I don't know.
Your Excellency? Okay. Okay, wheels of bus go round and round, so that's good. We had no problems with vehicles last month, so that was good. Our numbers are still up from last year as far as our ridership. And I'm keeping a number on there so you guys can see how many different riders we actually have. So last month we had 98. Last November we had 82 different people that use public transportation. So my aging grants, I've got your numbers on there. Their payments are really off right now. I don't know what's going on with them, but apparently there's too much CARES funding and it's messing up with their numbers, and that we're not using the new fiscal year yet. We're still using old fiscal year. I don't know. I just told them, I said, as long as you can find me more funding, because we have more people in need and we need more than what we've had, that would be great, but we're just kind of on a hold right now. My Title 3C that you guys can see on there, so those are, I didn't put it on there, but I wrote down, I've got 13 different participants. I renewed several people, and these are people that are homebound, don't have any way to get their meals and typically are not able to pay for them. And so that's what our grant is for, to
Is
help
that
cover that cost.
92 total units of service, is that 92, is that right?
That's for 3E, the
Okay, you're
C,
down.
yeah, the C is the next one. So, because I got my numbers bumped back up to my 13 participants,
So you're.
we've got total meals of 251 meals. And,
How is that compared to last year?
so that is a little bit higher, last year was 215.
Well, that's what the number.
So I try to keep that participants, I'm trying to keep that about the same because we have a finite amount. I have just under $8,000. They're not gonna give me more than that. So whether I get it all at the beginning of the year or you spread it out, it is what it is. And that's one area I've asked them, like, if you guys have extra funding, that's where we need extra funding because we have a lot of people in our community who need these meals and rely on our meals. And we run out of our grant. Last year I ran out by December. So anyway.
What about walk-in? I was supposed to ask you about like those walk-in showers or bathtubs. Is there any way that you can get, a person can get assistance for that?
They can get some assistance. Like I have caregiver funding, but I don't have just a fund that says you need that. And something like that is fairly pricey because they're going to have a remodel and do those kinds of things. What I would most likely do is I put together a referral form, like what we've done before, and refer them back over to South Central Kansas Area on Aging because they've got funding, she's saying, for different things, but people have to have qualifiers. They have to be the home health. They have to have had some kind of home. It's really
Well, this person's disabled.
So that's what I wanted through Heather. She's probably got access. It won't work that way.
There's a classification, and they have to have some kind of in-home services in order for them to utilize. I had somebody that needed glasses, did that, did a referral over to them. Jody at South Central Kansas Area Aging said, we have funding, do a referral, we'll try to get it worked out. So yeah. So it's at least worth a try.
My question here is, okay, you get $8,000 a year on this?
Approximately, yeah, just a little under.
So how much longer do you have on this? Or does this budget start over in January?
So this just started over in October. Sorry, in October.
You're in year different than.
Everything I have is different because KDOT is different, and then the state is my aging.
So when that funding
different.
runs out, that's for the meals, right?
Yeah.
So when that runs out, what do you do?
Then I just,
Because if your
then
number
our
keeps,
mill levy pays for it.
because if you keep going up.
This is a tax-supported program, yeah. But people do get invoiced every month. It's up to them whether we consider it a donation, if they're going to be able to donate back to it. Commodities this Thursday. Last month we had 86 different boxes that we gave out. So that's been pretty busy.
My concern is your numbers is going to probably keep going up.
Well, yeah. Well, and I'm going to give you guys our bids, and that's the other thing is that our cost of these meals, and I've brought it. The area agency understands that. Our state nutrition board that I'm on, they understand all of our inputs are going up, so these costs are going up as well. So anyway, I also just give you guys an update of where I'm at, what I'm doing with my time. I'm in Harper a lot right now because of the senior center. So hopefully we get those jobs posted this week. So hopefully we get some people over there. I just want to give a shout out right now. Glenn Barker and Andy Sauer have been, the days I'm not in Harper, they're opening, they are getting everything set up. They go get meals, they get it served up. They're making the deliveries. I do have a list of, I have 4 different people that are helping with deliveries, but we have 2 routes. It takes 2 people to do it. And so those guys, the comment to them last week was, this is starting to feel like a job. When are you going to find somebody? So I'm there every day this week. So that's why I keep looking at the clock because I have to go pick up meals at 10:30. But they're really above and beyond what I would expect. Glenn's been sick this last week, so that's why I'm pulling more shifts, and our bus is not packed, and so I don't need to be driving, so I can do that. But I want to give a shout out to those 2 guys because they've really gone above and beyond. The extension ladies, they take a lunch on Tuesday and they help deliver. Pat Patton from the hospital delivers on Wednesdays. We have a new delivery person on Thursdays, Jeanette Borel, who bought the orchard, bought the Gills Orchard. And then Karen Aller and her husband are back and they're helping on Fridays.
So Larry helps, right?
Well, I think she lets him drive
Yeah.
and she points.
Yeah, they work together.
But, so we're hoping to find some more volunteer drivers just to be able to help out. What I really want is a new manager so that we can, everybody do their own job. So, and we can get that, back together. Shannon Swindle and Harper, Attica is doing a great job. So I've checked in with her a couple of different times because I haven't heard from her. And she's rolling with it. So
Good.
She's getting it figured out. Ramona's helping her with month end and doing some different things. So that's nice. Because Ramona is actually getting meals there a couple times a week. So. So that also leads me to senior meals. We've got new bids. Every year we go and we send our bids out for meals. And Harper Patterson Health Center provides us with meals. They're also giving us all of our paper goods, styrofoam. They wash our dishes. So their bid came in. They went up. Yes. Right now we pay $570 and their bid is $585 for the year, which shocked me. They did not go up more than that. So they're being incredibly generous with us. So that's their breakout.
So per plate, yeah.
Yes. We've been paying $570 and I think last year it went up, I forgot to look at that, 10 or 15 cents as well.
That's not bad.
Nope. Especially when you look at Atticus.
Really?
Their meal bid is quite extensive. Hers is going up $1. Right now we pay $7 a meal. It went up $1 last year. So
And
they're
this
saying
one went up 15
$8.
cents.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that at 997? Is that adequate?
What are you looking at?
You know this meal calculation?
Well, there's two
No,
options.
on the backside.
$9
There-
if
is
they
there a back-
continue to wash the dishes, and there's $8 if we start washing our own dishes.
Yes.
And so, isn't there a dishwasher in the?
There is a dishwasher, and so she and I talked about that, and she's welcome. She's willing to do that. I thought that was crazy that they wanted to charge us $1 to literally, it's a container of 5 or 6 trays
Well,
and
that
some
has labor
serving,
they have to
but
pay for too.
yep. But anyway, that's why they broke it out. The other thing they did that's different is they've broken out how much paper goods, because she's saying that's a lot of what this is going into this cost. The styrofoam is harder to find, all the to-go containers, and she said you're using, our people that are eating in are using a lot of those to-go containers for their leftovers or if they, whatever, and so it's unaccounted for is what they're saying. And so I said, that's fine, let's just say, let's do the math. So they did it on a generous, we don't deliver 8 meals, but they did it average to that and said, this is how much you should use in a year. That's what we're gonna buy you. If you use more than that, you're gonna pay for it.
So
And I told them I thought that was,
you need to, so the one we get from Patterson, that's just for City of Harper.
yes.
Okay, and Anthony is the one down here.
Attica is just Attica.
Yeah.
Anthony is Meals on Wheels, it's a different program.
Okay,
It's not counted.
so I guess my next question is, for the difference in price, how come Attica is on their own, I guess? It might be,
Well, Harper's on their own as well. So we purchase we have, I have a line item for contractual meals. So our contractual meals come from Attica Long-Term Care. And our contractual meals in Harper come from Patterson.
okay.
Does that not answer your question? There's something else brewing in his head.
The other is, well, I'm just looking at the cost. I guess I'm asking how come we have 2 different places?
Because physically getting meals from one, I mean, it's
It's right there in the town.
potentially an option, but otherwise whoever in Attica is gonna have to drive.
Right, I'm with, that's the
Yeah,
question I had.
yeah, logistically,
More
that's
convenient.
a lot of extra driving. And we also pay that person their miles, so if you're wanting to, that's an extra line item. I will say, budget-wise, so, I looked at our budget, we're still fine. I had actually increased our budget in Attica because I had a feeling this was gonna happen. So, we had increased our, contractual meals. I think I bumped it up by $4,000 for next year, so we're still good.
How many meals do you deliver?
And in Harper, we're actually under, we're still
How
under.
many meals of that do you deliver?
Right now, she actually had 2 people that moved. One went to a nursing home, so I think she's got 3 or 4 meals right now.
It's not huge.
Most people are every day.
Harper, we deliver 25 to 26 meals.
Like my mom, she's every day, but is everybody every day or just?
Most are. There's one in Harper that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have a couple of people who get double meals on Friday because they have nobody else bringing them anything during the weekend. There's only 2 people
I
who
was
do
thinking
that
with my
Harper.
mom that she eats part of it for lunch and part of it for
Yeah.
supper.
Yeah.
So
budget-wise, we're still within budget with our new year.
in the meal study and that downstairs, what's it go to? I'm trying to keep track.
That's
of
commodities.
Okay.
That's TFAT commodities. So that's once a month food through federal and state. Yeah. So these are senior meals, just lunch only. So
we need motions
what I need to
to
do is, I need motions to accept these bids, and then I need signatures. We've got them in triplicate. Richard looked over everything and he was okay with stuff. He said he just wanted to make sure when I send back our meal contracts that they have a copy of their bid with it, and that was the only thing he said. It's fine.
So I would make
I'll make a motion on the
Harper
the
Senior.
Harper Senior.
Dick made a motion, all in favor?
Aye.
And then for the adequacy contract.
I'll make it, so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we are doing our own dishes then, right? So we'll do
Yes.
the okay.
Yes. And the contract is just saying, it gives us an objective of how many meals per week. We tell them that we're picking up the food. I tell them what holidays are our county holidays that we won't be serving those days. And then they agree to furnish all their paper goods, how much the new meal cost is, and they email me the bill every month. So, I don't know if you want to read through that or not.
It's on the email. You sent that out to Shauna. didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I got it sorted.
So otherwise, these are the 2 other signature pages for Harper.
You want a signature on each of those?
Yeah, one goes to,
What's the number on that one?
Where
Our
does all
file
those
here.
plates or containers, where they come from?
This is,
I do not know where they source them
This
from.
is the Harper one right
Because
here.
I was,
for this one.
when they were really,
So she has 3 for each.
Patterson couldn't find styrofoam for a while. They could only find the pulp board ones, and they weren't, those are all Attica. And they weren't divided. Oh man, it's a hot mess. And so I started looking at Sam's or other options, and I couldn't find anything either.
Really?
I think it's doing it a little bit better, but the kitchen is the one that buys them in Patterson, and she'll say, she's like, how you doing on stuff? And she literally just has a wall. She's like, if I can find it, she's just been walled in her office. She said, if I can find it, buy it.
Isn't that crazy
I
though?
was just curious, people donate for stuff like that.
And when is all that gonna turn around?
Yeah.
Right.
Ever? Yeah.
Okay, so these are four.
Someday you'll look back and tell your kids you need to buy a
So we
$3
do this
bottle
every
of
year.
pop. Wouldn't that be a fun story?
You guys have any other questions?
See your band running around a lot. It's great.
Running around
It's a
the
great thing.
house. Yep.
It's a great thing.
We've got, I actually was on the phone with Kathy Zimmerman with Harper County Health Foundation. Is that the name of it now? Harper County Health Foundation for the hospital.
Sounds
Because we had a gentleman who has got to do radiation and chemo. He's got 28 treatments scheduled, and it has to be done in Wichita, and cannot afford $20 a day to go back and forth. And we went back and forth with St. Francis trying to figure out how to get his rides. Medicare, for whatever reason, whatever Medicare he's on wasn't going to work. And St. Francis Foundation called me, and they're going to pay for his rides.
There you go.
And so I contacted Kathy and I said, why can't we do something like this? And so she and I were kind of hashing some stuff out. She said that is something we'd absolutely love to be a part of and be able to help. And she knows that we're not going to just, throw people out there that, maybe could or couldn't, that it's really a need. And we get to see some of those people and how can we really be hands and feet in our community. And so the foundation's really on board with helping with something like that. So, yeah.
Cool. Good to
Say
hear
for
that.
instance,
Well,
go
it
make
always
it
make it
happen.
in there.
Yeah. So, thanks, guys.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
David,
I'm up
you
again.
need a break, everybody good?
I'm good for this.
We good?
I'm good.
David, I'm glad you're good, I'm glad you don't need a break yet.
Okay, the main reason why I'm here, out of county travel, I need to explain to me what all that covers first.
Anywhere out of the county?
Myself or vehicles?
If the county vehicle is available, so this little car out here, if it's available, of course, you've got your own vehicles that you can take and use too, but you're not gonna get mileage paid back to you personally for your personal vehicle if there's a county vehicle available.
Okay, this coming Friday, December 16th, South Central Weed Directors Meeting in Pratt.
Go for it.
And that's what I'm here for. At first, I was gonna take that 2011 pickup, but that goes against my policy, so I'll just take my own vehicle.
And then you won't get mileage
Oh,
from the
yeah.
county. But is that Dodge Dart, that little car, is it available for you to
I
use?
just want to take that.
You-
That's too much hassle to take a county vehicle.
Well, it's not a hassle, it's
Yeah, you have to clean it up, you have to fill the gas, you have to vacuum it out.
You're gonna do that to yours,
Inspect it.
aren't you? Fill it up?
Yeah, but I don't inspect it around for every little scratch and dent.
Okay, well, that's your choice.
But that's what I'm here for, I guess, to see if I guess I need to have permission to go to that meeting.
Yeah, go for it.
It's
Right.
an
Did
annual
you
meeting.
talk to Mike, is he okay with it? Should be, actually.
It's his department, he's probably gotta go to get updated on whatever they're doing, right?
It's a annual meeting in Pratt for the election of officers. What this is in Kansas, they have an association of county weed directors. They have an annual meeting in March up in, I think, Topeka this year. But this is South Central Kansas. They break it off in different districts, and this is South Central Kansas. We do pay $35 a year to be a member of this, so I suppose I ought to go.
Everybody else goes to their organization meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody that we need to send with you, or?
No. According to the agenda, the department update. So Van Dice on the herbicides yesterday, I sent them an email at 11:24 yesterday, and at 7:40 this morning, they were backing up to the door.
Well, you told us that yesterday they would be.
That's quick.
The only problem is on the Freelex, it was 2 cents a gallon higher than what I bid. And on 180 gallons, they're $3.60, so I didn't argue with him.
Tell them we're not paying that 2 cents.
Seriously, I mean, that's their
That's
bid, that's.
Right, that's what I thought, but he didn't have any control over it, whoever they got it from.
Whoever the guy that sent the bid out is the one that would be responsible for that.
I think that's about all I have.
They have to honor the bid.
Yeah, I kinda thought that was the
I
whole
thought
purpose.
so too, but that can be done when whoever writes the check can do it. That's about it. I brought yesterday, we do have a Dodge pickup problem yet, but I'll let that go for now. So I think that's about it, just out of county travel.
Thank you. Any questions, guys?
No. When was that meeting, Dave?
Friday.
Friday.
But you're gonna be on vacay.
That starts Saturday. Nutrient Solutions, he will have his stuff brought after the first of the year. That's all I got, yes.
Hey, thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Have a good vacation.
Yep.
Let's see.
I will.
Weird seeing you 2 mornings in a row, though.
I know
Is it a break? Or we take?
5 minutes?
Yeah, I'll work for you. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
So are you making that?
Yes,
Right, first,
I
okay.
did.
Thank you, Darren.
This is a 2 Pepsi, Dave, not
Uh-oh.
not this one.
Do we need Linda to come in for the period 13 stuff, you think? Because she's the one that wanted me to talk to them about it. So let me go ask her. She's here. Okay.
Okay.
Let's tap it to make sure it doesn't explode. It's not as bad. Before they put that rubber thing in there, they used to slide down so fast, it would shake them up and you'd open them.
Great.
But we don't have that issue as much anymore.
It's well, I'm a little bit wore out because the grandkids all week for the last couple of days, I'll tell you.
Because we didn't have rain.
After not having kids in the house, it's quite
Yeah, you had it all last weekend.
It's pretty scary to see.
There is no goal moment.
All right.
What do you mind asking? I mean, if he knows of anybody.
I will. Well, I'm watching stuff anyway.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So if I see something like Mom, I'll hold it. We did lose the count, but she's in the middle of having it. Okay, Kelsey,
You need to reconvene.
you making that motion?
Yes,
All in favor?
Aye.
you got Stephanie. Out of order.
Uh-huh. She needs clarification on posting in period 13 for account.
So I had talked to Linda and she is here today. So we were discussing for period 13 because it is so much different in comparison to just entering the vouchers regularly, because the due date has to be 12/31 of the year prior, and it has to be a whole separate batch than what their current bills are. So it kind of gets a little bit complicated, and I don't want to make it any harder for Shonda or our new auditors, because I used to enter all of them when I was doing accounts payable, and I used to run a special report so that it made during audit time a lot easier to kind of go back. So I'm gonna, since you guys are still wanting everybody to enter their own, I'm gonna send out the criteria for it, because they will have to run a separate report. There'll be a lot of different things that they'll have to do, basically doing double the work. I do know that our next pay date is the 20th. And I just feel like that's still quite a bit. They could get bills anytime between then. So I'm wanting to add in, if you guys don't have any issues with also having one on the 27th for AP. That way we can get as many bills in before the new year so that there are less. And then they'll have to also give us a list of their encumbrances as well. So that'll be something they'll start to compile and give.
So does it have to be on Mondays or?
It doesn't necessarily have to. I just don't want to cause any confusion for anybody. Since you guys meet on Mondays, otherwise it would be, we would just be running it. You guys would be approving it the next week. Because if you want, we could do it.
I guess my question is, why isn't it done like on the 20th, then do it again on the 31st or the 30th or what the last day is?
We can do the 30th. I'm perfectly fine as long as you guys are okay with
But
us.
we'll be back in here on Monday for the next meeting anyway to go approve that, wouldn't we?
You would just approve it after they've already been sent out. If you guys are okay with that, I'm more than.
I just wonder, what is it different this year than it was last year? How is that different?
What do you mean?
Well, so why are we?
Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. I figured it might be better this year. I don't know, well, this is me versus someone else in charge, but for me, it might be better for them because you're gonna get bills. The way everything's going, most of them get bills, after the 15th. So I'd like to be able to get as many of them paid this time or the final or this year rather than having to do the period 13 encumbrances. Because like I said,
You do the last one like Derek said,
Well, I guess period 13 covers them for anything that year, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
It covers everything.
Right. For that last year.
Okay, that's what period 13 is. So it doesn't make any difference then when we get them. Is that correct?
Right.
That is correct, right?
Yeah, because we look at, with your electricity and different things, you have to have 12 invoices. So it does make it a little more complicated. So if we have an extra one, that just means that's less that they have to do for the encumbrances.
You're not going to catch them all doing the 30th anyway, because someone's going
No,
to on the
no,
29th saying to do that. So that doesn't make any difference.
No,
So
that's what I'm saying. Why is it different now than it was?
I was just offering it up since we have a lot of new people that are entering their own vouchers. But if you guys don't really care, we just will let them put it on their encumbrances.
I think it would be.
Okay.
My opinion.
I have too, because you're not going to catch them all anyway. If somebody's going to money a bill on the 28th, we're not going to get it anyway.
Sure,
you do
absolutely.
them, so you know how it works.
That doesn't mean anything.
You're
I
the
mean,
man,
you're
no?
not gonna catch, we can't go to the last day of the
Man,
band anyway.
Yeah.
So we're still,
Yeah.
no matter what we're doing, we're still gonna have to have period 13. 'cause we're-
Oh, yeah, you will, no matter what, yeah,
I suppose longer.
so.
Longer
that's-
Todd.
I was trying to make it a little easier on everybody,
Well, I don't know.
a little less work and
Oh, it's gonna be easier,
complications, so,
I was trying to catch everything, but you're never gonna catch it all.
No.
So you're still gonna have period 13 no matter what.
Right.
yes,
All right, let's just do that.
okay.
I'm good.
And then I'll send out the email. Do you guys want me to CC you in on, the instructions that I send out to everybody?
Yes.
Yes,
I will.
okay.
Why not?
Okay,
You good with that?
Mm.
okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Todd. Is he saying he was gonna be here for a while, look rusty?
Yeah. Right. So mine should be super short also.
Hey, see you.
So Jan emailed me wanting to know if it was okay if she applied for the firefighter's assistant grant. They had applied for it before and didn't get approved for it, so there's a second round and they can resubmit for it. Her and Ruth worked on it last time, and it's just that to provide information on the rural area and how many miles of dirt roads that they travel and stuff. So.
Didn't the second run release come in or something like that? I remember something.
Yeah, what was the deal on that?
No. I don't remember.
Maybe it's going on, but we came in, I remember hearing about this at some
It'd
meeting.
be the same type of thing a year
I
ago.
don't know why
Yeah,
we
so
went
it's
like
just the
this.
second chance for doing
I have
it.
no problem with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks
So-
for asking on that, though.
Yeah, I'm working on the narrative for the financials, and Linda and I will report next week on that.
You'll be
so-
fine. It's gonna be
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
It'll be
so
fine.
I'm a little stressed, but you know, we'll get through it.
It'll be fine.
And then that's it. Unless you guys
Yeah,
have anything.
pretty quick.
When you come in this week, you were right.
Yeah, Melinda will be here Thursday to go over.
So far, so
some things.
good. We're
Okay,
impressed.
okay.
Jeff hadn't started yelling yet?
Yeah.
We're probably not.
Get out of here before it starts.
Right.
Just
All
gotta
right.
figure out how to drop that.
Yes,
dude in
thank you.
there. Can we draw on that? Do you have another copy of
Right,
that?
yeah.
I'm sure
I don't
we can
even
find
do
another
drawing.
one.
I'll probably do
Young lady, I say, when you come in here, you always have the most paperwork.
I'm
Anybody-
sorry.
You come in with the knowledge.
I try not to.
Get your backpack or big old briefcase and bring all that stuff in with you.
A rolling thing.
Okay, I have things. I have personnel status forms. We did find a shared service person to do EMS in the treasurer's office. She starts on the 20th. I have an EMS, one of our current part-timers.
Is that what this one is?
Yes. One of our current part-timers just passed his paramedic, so he's getting bumped up. I do have a termination in dispatch, and I have the paperwork with it. We can discuss it in an executive session if you'd like details.
This lady wasn't the one we interviewed, was it, by chance? That one?
Yeah,
Is it really?
yes,
What, name looked familiar. That's
Yeah.
great. Should be good at it.
she will be. I have the our retiree, our Bob is leaving us. And then I have a road and bridge termination. That we knew was coming. It's just the formal
You good with that?
documentation for it.
Which one?
Oh, the one that was handed you.
So, I don't guess I know.
Just making sure.
Do we need to talk about this one in executive session, then?
If you want to, we can. He's not coming back.
At all?
No.
Oh, you guys signed these, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Yeah,
You're all right
we'll
with
do
that?
it, we'll do it. With it.
That's yours.
Yeah, I've got this one done, yeah.
It started to.
I signed it all, but
It's all right.
He kind of did, he's looking.
I know what the day is. I don't have to look on that one. You just have to look there.
Is he celebrating today?
No, probably not.
Is it your birthday?
Yeah.
It is, happy birthday.
49.
back there, and have some toast or cake or ice cream or something.
Snacks
Did you
or
bring it?
something.
No, I
Well, then, okay, yeah, bring your own stuff to your
That's the way
birthday.
it worked at Debbie's. Your birthday, you brought your own
You brought
donuts.
your own snacks.
Yeah, for everybody.
Give me a sip of that.
No, thanks.
you back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, okay, the next thing is an EMS eval, just for your review and to sign off on. I did email it to you, it's kinda little. Mhm. And then I do have 2 more of those, 3 more of those. One of them is for the treasurer's office, if you want to review those and sign off on them. The other 2 are the jail, and you looked at them last week, but I think since we have implemented the merit-based increase, I think you do need to go ahead and sign off that you reviewed these, if that's okay.
Yep.
So you did look at them last week, but I didn't have you sign them because it is an elected official, but I think if we are gonna do that merit-based, we need to go ahead and make sure you guys are signing and reviewing all of them.
Have you got all the reviews in?
Most of them, and I do have a spreadsheet, and you can do that in the executive session. The only people I don't have, the sheriff is working on his, and then we do have a couple of public works that we need to go over. Mike's gonna come in and we'll finish up a couple of those.
So, these go into effect on
January 1st, but you'll have to decide
but we have to decide before that, right?
Yep.
So we have to make it the
what
20th.
number you wanna look at, yeah. Or you can look, the majority of them are in. I mean, if you just want to pick the level that you want
So
to
we have 2
assign.
weeks actually before the number. You gotta have them before that.
Yeah, I would.
You want on
I
the
would
30th?
really prefer that we have it in time for payroll.
If you have all kinds of time, 30th, that gives you all week.
Yeah.
Over the holiday.
Hey, is this one?
Yes.
We're gonna talk about this a little bit more. It's a termination.
Yeah, I've got, we can discuss it in executive.
Okay, that's, yeah. Just kind of curious, what the heck?
Mhm. I also have vacancy notices. Well, just one, and it is to fill that newly vacated position in dispatch. Okay.
Oh, that didn't take it. If we're gonna talk about this, I will read into it.
Okay.
Which one is that in where you're talking about? Is that-
You want to hold off on the, well, I mean, the determination's done, but.
Well, yeah, but I wanna know what happened there.
Sure. That's the vacancy notice for that position.
Okay.
Allow her to go ahead and fill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, he's okay with that.
Are you over dispatch?
Are you okay with the vacancy? Filling that vacancy in dispatch?
The one we, yeah, okay, yeah, it's great. One that we interviewed?
No, dispatch.
This is a new one,
Okay.
because of that.
Yep. We have an open position, and she's just wanting to go ahead and post and fill it. Thank you.
Ooh.
And we can discuss it in detail. Okay. I'm still waiting to hear if we are awarded the risk avoidance grant from K-Camp for the cameras. We do have a claim open for the Harper Senior Center. There's leaking, the roof is leaking, there's some mold inside. So our adjuster from K-Camp is coming down, and he'll be here tomorrow to go up and physically inspect it.
So you do need a signature on these?
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
Who does it?
Huh?
Just those.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean. Well, that wasn't.
Well, I don't know what you're supposed to do on that.
K-Camp did decline one of our liability claims recently.
Really?
Yep, one of the road claims. Mike though went and looked, and we haven't been working on that road. We haven't spread gravel on that road.
Which one was that?
And one with a railroad spike, but it was
The
not
most recent one?
the most recent one.
See, I don't think we start paying that stuff in, because like I said, I got $60 you're gonna owe me pretty quick if we start paying that, and that's just last week. So
Yeah.
any week I drive Walden Road, I pick up the mail,
Is it
so
under risk?
it's gonna get
Are you
expensive.
okay with that?
Did I do that?
So we're not paying that, right?
K-Camp denied it.
Enough.
Mhm, you did. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you.
But if they want to submit, they submit, and we get denied, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's the thing, we'll send them all to KCAM and they'll review them and dig into
What's
them.
that?
You know what the railroad's like.
Not paying? Well, then pay mine too. And then
No,
I'll
I'm
have
just
to-
saying, I mean, they paid it forever because the county put out railroad rock, which was not a good move in my books.
You guys okay to sign these? Amy's. So, Jeff, are you okay with that?
Which one?
The bill,
Yeah.
I just think we need your initials on
Yep.
all of them at this point, since we are doing them. Okay, we have filled the shared services position for the treasurer's office and EMS. Last week we discussed, since the pay scale has increased, the motor vehicle account is limited. It's not in one of our budgets, it's the state money that Michelle has. So she had asked last week, and if we need her to come in next week and talk, we can certainly do that. I just wondered if you had thought any more about helping her out with that. Right now, the county covers the benefits for that position, but it's only been paid at 12 something until now, and now it'll be 13.
Probably that's going.
Oh, thank
But
you.
then that was like what?
The shared services
between
position
EMS and,
and treasurer. It's, Michelle pays it out of her motor vehicle account, so it's a
Yeah, but-
different fund.
Part of that's come from the state anyway. I mean,
Yeah, that comes from the state, but it's only X
only so
amount
much
of
money.
dollars based on how many transactions they do each year. So and right now, I think she's good. She says she's calculated out and it looks like it'll work, but
okay,
if something happens,
okay.
that's the concern.
You're wondering if we'll cover it if something happens.
Yeah, would you help absorb some of that if she's unable
how's
to?
the EMS's budget on that? With that?
It's fine.
I guess if something happens, then that other account she has should go up accordingly. I mean, if she has more work.
Oh, yeah, if she has more work, it'll increase, but if she has less work, it will decrease. And I think that's what she's concerned about, is if possibly it wouldn't be funded. So,
We'll make, I think we'll, I guess, on what you're at, we'll make sure that she will keep the employee.
the staffing
Well, I
is
mean,
okay. I think that's all
can
she's
we-
worried about.
Can we put more work on the EMS side of it to cover, I mean, right? I mean,
Well, and sometimes Michelle will be busier with taxes, and sometimes EMS will need the person more, you know. They seem to be working well together as far as sharing extras. So just something to think about and keep in mind. Employee appreciation, we have 89 RSVP.
Hopefully not.
Yes,
I just can't believe it would be that many there.
yeah. Well, there's
That's with spouses too.
50 something, yeah, employees. It's a pretty good turnout though, I'm
Yeah.
happy. The thing is that does limit us on our, I haven't bought gift cards yet, but with the number of employees we have, we'll have just enough to cover $25 gift cards, so just an FYI for that. Yeah, 89 RSVP. We do have people dropping though with COVID diagnosis, so we may not end up with that many people there. But I just wanted to let you know. I have been in touch with Acorns and I've been in touch with Blue Cross, so I'll make sure everybody knows what to expect.
I did try to get him down on that, but he kind of looked at me like, why?
Well, at least you tried.
I'm not done yet.
Okay, Linda Langley and I discussed this, and Shauna and I discussed it too. Since we are using ARPA funds for bonuses, which goes through payroll, do you have a problem with giving me access to the portal as well? That way I can help with the annual reports, because a lot of
Why
those.
you don't have any?
Well, that's fine. Melinda handled it, and that's, just fine, but this might be helpful since a lot of that's coming out of payroll now, or some of it will, because it wasn't before.
Okay.
So if that's okay with you.
I'm all right with it. You?
Thank you. Cameras, we have received approval from the Kansas State Historical Society to go ahead and do that, so that's good news. They haven't approved it for tax credits yet, but that doesn't mean it won't be. It just means they've said, yeah, it's okay to make those changes to your building. We were supposed to have a department head meeting this week. I did not get that set up, and I apologize. Do you want to do it Monday, or do you want to wait until
How
the
about
beginning of
first
the
year?
Yeah, just do it first year.
Okay.
Unless Jeff wanted to get with us.
No, I was
Is
just.
there anything we need to discuss before
I
the
could
first
do
year?
it next week anyway.
Really? Okay. Okay, the next thing I have executive session, and, oh, you're here, Mike's here. If we could get we need to do some evaluations quick, and then we need to touch on a couple of different non-elected employees. So I think maybe 30 minutes.
Does he need to be in all of it?
No, just the beginning, if we can get his
So
stuff
part of
out of the
that
way.
one is stuff like,
Yeah.
without him, yeah.
We probably, if we have to even go longer after the 30. Because I'm gonna tell you,
Can get
I'm
my-
not confident. I'm not confident.
Today, Struble, 30 will get it.
30.
I don't think it's Struble that runs it long.
We get to talk and chasing rabbits. All right, who's making that motion?
I will.
Okay, Darren's made a motion to go into executive session, so to be discussed with personnel matters, I assume, right?
Yes, please.
Justification for closing the meeting is to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel. Open meeting, we're resuming this room at, let's just go 11:15, that work?
30 minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, Jeff made the motion to extend for 15, all in favor? Aye.
all I have.
10 minutes.
Stuart made the motion for 10 minutes to extend. All in favor?
Aye.
Why did we start 11?
It's like
10:45.
We're still all right.
Oh, okay, so. You wanna extend it?
No, but we can talk about it next
Yeah,
week.
yeah. We're gonna discuss it then. You'll sign, that's.
You had this in your store, where's it go?
I don't have it, no control.
Is that it, Amy?
No,
All right.
no decisions already.
No. No action. All right, thank you, Amy.
You're welcome, thank you.
Anything else? You good? You good? Oh, great. Here we
I'm
go.
sure I am.
I have a quick question. I don't know if, I think I emailed you on that, but, credit cards. I didn't know if you wanted me to order Shonda a credit card.
Yeah, still need to have one.
And do we need to get Melinda's back since she's only part-time?
I don't know about those. Does she have expenses doing tax sale?
I don't know. Cause I thought most of it was, but I.
There's nobody up on the diagonal, Jeff. There's nobody up there on the diagonal for the rock.
I don't know. I
Okay.
thought, I don't know. I need to visit with her, see if she has expenses while doing that.
Okay,
But yeah, for sure, Shonda's gonna need one, because
They were there this
hotels
morning.
reserved for whatever conferences, if we go to some, it'd be handy for you to have that. If you wanna have one.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm one that like, I don't hold that, I don't want to be responsible for that stuff. I got enough stuff I do, so. Right, you guys agree?
Yep.
I'll talk to Melinda and see what kind of expenses she normally has.
Sure.
Anyway, you finished?
I think I am.
Okay. Fair enough, we're adjourned.
Let's go back out.
Let's go to the lake.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I'll give that to him.
Oh, hey, we did not do minutes.
Next week.
I just stepped up on all this stuff right here. We'll be quick. Kelsey has a transfer here, looks like paid out of 068 fund, which is down, should have been paid out of the 066 fund, which is attorney equipment. You guys okay with that transfer? Yes. I don't need a motion for it, it's not monthly, so. And then the minutes, need a motion to approve November 29th minutes.
I wasn't.
So moved.
Yeah, you were, for that one.
There you were.
That's November 28th.
No.
Those, she's made the corrections on that one, that would have been corrected, so Jeff made a motion on it, all in favor? Aye. Okay, December 6th, I haven't had a chance to go over those yet.
I have not either.
Did you go over December 6th?
I've been busy.
Can you email those out, cause I don't think I ever got an email. of those.
Okay, yeah,
Did you see
No.
them?
I didn't get one.
okay,
I
I'll
don't
email
think there was ever an email show up for those. Huh?
You got that one.
These, I did have some corrections on this. The first one was my name is misspelled on that first paragraph,
Okay,
my last name. The other one is it was not a regular session, it was a special meeting to do. Today's the regular session. Those are the two corrections I had. Jeff, did you have any others on that? Okay.
okay, I'll get that, and I'll have it printed. Is it all right if I go ahead and print it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be good to go. I'll sign this one. You want to hold off on those then?
That's fine, I'll email it
Just hold off on
today.
that.
Yeah, she's going to email that out to us.
Those are the 2 things, 2.5 days.
Okay. All right, now we're getting there.
There's only 2 more minutes.
Yeah. It's anything without you.
All right, thank you, girls.
Yep, thank you.
Have a good one. Happy birthday, Jeff.
Oh, yes, and happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yes, see you.
Felt like it.
See ya.
See you later.
I get out here, my head's naked, that one's good.
And you forget everything.
Did it, Matt?